Hello, my name is Tim Went, and I've got this fine Nucamp camper for sale tag. Let's take a look at it. So I'll take the camera off my little tripod here, and we'll go around. First, I'm just going to explain the Bookdook XL package. That's kind of the trim level. This is kind of the tags. This is kind of like the top of the line for a number of reasons. I'll just say what it's got in terms of the tag. It has the roof rack, the Yakima roof rack, which you can attach. You can latch your kayak up there, or put an awning, a camper awning on that very, very easily. We went a different route with the tent. I'm not going to pull out the tent, but I'll at least swing the camera around and show it to you in this bag. We're selling this with everything you need to get camping. So you've got everything. We got this big, large side tent that you can put in this area out here on either side. And we've got a brake controller, basically all the things you would need to get up and running camping. The connection, the drinkable water hose, you name it, it's all in there. You shouldn't have to buy anything. Also throwing in a really nice table that you can put in the side tent for extra cooking or dining space, or you can put a jigsaw puzzle together or whatever. It's just a very nice camping table. Everything you need to get going on this. I kind of feel like a used car salesman here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Bookdook XL package. Now, the Bookdook means you can take this place off-road. It's going to be better than a lot of other teardrops or the lesser models of this, in that it's higher, it has more clearance, it has larger wheels, it's wider. There's just a lot of features. There's a solar panel on the top, so when you're out in the boonies, you're still generating electricity that you can use some of the features, not all, but some of the features. So I'll explain the two electrical systems that are on this unit. So you have the solar power, plus you have your battery, or you can connect it up to shore power when you're on a camping site where you have power and water and can connect right into it. All right, let's take this off the tripod and get going here. Let's see here. Try to make this fast. I did one video already and it took me forever. I'm going to try to not make this into an hour-long documentary. All right, so first of all, XL. XL means it's a 6 wide, meaning it's 6 feet across instead of 5, and that's a lot of extra room in this for sleeping. Basically, this is a tent on wheels, a luxurious tent on wheels. Also on the Boondocking XL package, you have the footsteps that you can stand on to latch things onto the roof. Let's see what else on the Bookdook package. You have the diamond, what do they call that? Diamond plate wheel wells. I'm including this step, which makes it really easy to get in and out of. And this step here is too high to get in and out of. And then the Bookdook package has the boondocking platform, which allows you to have extra storage. This is designed to put a small Honda generator in, and then you put your tanks of gas and latch them on here, or an extra tank of propane, or extra water that you want to take, or just extra whatever you can latch on here, which is great. Let's see, what else will I point out here? Again, this stuff is, the platform is with the XL, but this part here is standard. You can see the storage. Let's see, in terms of the XL, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to point out. Really, the solar panel on top, let's show you that as part of the XL package. There we go, is the solar panel. I think that generates about 85 watts if I remember right. It's great it powers all the lights. The exterior lights, the accent lighting in the galley, the kitchen galley in the back. The solar is not strong enough to run the heater or the air conditioning. You would need to use the shore power for that. But the solar power is great for charging your cell phones, using your portable devices, that type of thing. All right, also included in this, so that's kind of the XL package. Also throwing in leg levelers, or leveling blocks to help you level the camper when you get to the campsite. A Curtis brake controller. Those are about, I think, $250. So that's getting thrown in. You're getting 2 locks for the hitch and the ball. I'll add a little safety. And then you've got room in here for a second battery. My understanding is it's set up already to handle lithium batteries, which are a better option if you're doing boondocking. But you can put 2 batteries in here, but there currently is 1 battery. And you've got this extra, a lot of extra storage in this unit here you can use. You got a shut-off switch. That's kind of that for this thing. Let's close this up. On the front, you have, kind of seeing the inside here, this is the Stargazer window, which is wonderful. You're out at night, you can look at the stars out where there's no noise pollution. Another nice feature of this one is you could easily roll this entire camper with one person just grabbing this and rolling it. So when you're on a campsite, it's easy to, once you get it kind of on the pad or where you want it, if you need to kind of move it, you can easily, you and by yourself, you can probably move it. But certainly with an extra person, you can easily swing this wherever you need to go. Very, very easy to maneuver in the garage. Oh, and that's the bonus of this is the normal size garage door. You can get this in. Another feature on this is the fan. The fan is great. That's another thing that's powered off the solar, if you wanted to, or I should say the battery and or the solar. That really keeps this cool. You know, when you're somewhere where you don't have electricity for the air conditioner, that fan is wonderful for keeping air really flowing strongly through the unit itself. And it's a good idea to have that vent open all the time, just a little bit and cracked, and keep air circulating through the unit. All right, let's take a look at some more things on the outside. We've got our city connection for water here. Now this comes with a hose, like I said, drinking water, safe hose, and also a pressure regulating valve, because pressure at some campsites, my understanding, is above 50, and that can damage your water system internally. So you're not gonna wanna do that. You don't have that pressure valve on there. Another thing that's included, we have the side hose. They call it a shower, and you pull it out and it's got a little shower nozzle on it that you pull out here. And you can squirt down, you can clean off your shoes, clean off your dogs. You can give yourself a quick little shower. Keep in mind that this only has an 8-water freshwater tank on it, so you're not going to be able to give yourself super long showers with that. But it's great for just rinsing things off around the campsite. All right, let's open the galley and see what we got in there. The galley's beautiful. Let me turn on the accent lighting. Whoops, that was a water pump. Accent lighting, you've got lighting over the top. So it's beautiful to work in. You got a lot of working surfaces. Microwave oven, this can be pulled out and replaced, pulled out and just use it for storage. If you'd rather do that, you can. A lot of people do that. Here is the Yeti cooler it comes with. Great for a weekend trip. And you could, if you want, again, if you're boondocking, you can replace this with an electric cooler, and that can be powered off of electric coolers. Well, it can power either through here if you're on shore power, or through this here for running off the other electrical system powered by the solar and the battery. So you can easily have a electric cooler in here or a small refrigerator if it fits underneath there. I know people do that. Let's see, otherwise you get a nice deep sink. And I don't have this hooked up to water filled in this now, but it has a water pump. So when would you use the water pump? Well, first of all, the water pump is also ran off of the battery and i.e. the solar power. And that's going to pump water out of your freshwater tank if you're out in the boonies. Otherwise, if you're using city water, a hose hooked up to a faucet, you don't really need to use the tank if you don't want to. If you prefer to take your water because it tastes better than a campsite's water, you can do that. Also included, again, water filter, the connector, and the pressure valve to protect the system inside here. I mentioned I was going to point out any flaws. This thing's been great, very, very few flaws, but after this past winter, the water pump quit working, and this is a really, really, really common water pump. I mean, it is literally one of the most common water pumps you can find in RVs. there was a ton of YouTube videos on the possible things that could be happening in it, and I found a video, and within about 10 minutes, I had fixed the problem, which was just there's a little diaphragm. You unscrew 3 screws off here, take this off, loosen up the diaphragm, and then it started working again. It's been working ever since then. Anyway, that's again pointing out any small flaws. That's been really one of the only flaws of this unit. Was that, and again, once I figured out what was going on, it was very, very easy to fix. They're very inexpensive to replace too, so not a big deal. There, again, the pump is only for when you're out in the boonies and you want to pump from the water container. Now, frequently, I'll camp frequently. The times I went out, I camped 50% of the time probably at primitive sites that didn't have water, and so that was a really handy feature to pump the water, do dishes, whatever I needed to do in a beautiful park where I was in a campsite that was more primitive. I think I pointed this out here. You've got plug-ins. This is great. You want to plug in a coffee maker. Again, this is only when you're hooked up to shore power. Can you use these type of devices? Just point that out. Otherwise, you need a little different approach for making coffee. I found that out the hard way. And here you've got USB ports here for charging. Inside, in case I forget to point out, there is an outlet, this type of outlet, and there is one with USB charging capability inside of the unit. You have a nice shelf there, and I think that kind of says it for the galley. One other thing, you got nice storage underneath here. There is a crank here. This you take out to crank down the legs. So you've got these legs, staplers on each side. So when you get to a campsite, you're going to spin those down, and that's going to make a nice solid camper. I mean, you can move around in the camper without waking the other person. I mean, it's pretty rock solid once you put down the legs and get everything firmed up. It takes about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes to get your campsite all set up once you pull in. It doesn't take very long at all. Setting up the tent takes a little bit longer. Over here is the table included with it. This folds out. It's twice the size of that. It's probably about yay high, but it's really a nice table. They're very common. Campers use them. And then here's the side tent, the 10 by 10 side tent. Now the 10 by 10 side tent you can put on either side, and it's square, and there is on one of the 4 sides, there is a porthole that lines up with this. And it also has this kind of elephant trunk tent that goes in, it wraps around the door. So you have this kind of entry. Now we don't use that because we found it kind of not easy to use, to be honest, to be quite frank, but it still works great with that tent having the big porthole right here. So you can be in the tent, and then you just step kind of over the edge of the tent, right into the camper from the tent. There is an awning on the tent that goes over the top of the tent. So you're always covered from the rain between the tent and the camper is you're protected from the rain, and that makes that tent a really good option for this camper here. All right, I think I've covered most of the outside. One other thing is there is a quick connect for gas for your propane tank. I think I don't remember where it's at, but that's really handy if you have a Blackstone grill or a fire pit that runs off your propane tank. You can just do the quick connect. I forget where it's at. It's probably on the other side coming out. Anyway, very, very useful feature. I haven't used it yet, but it's pretty cool. All right, let's go on to the interior. One thing you'll notice in the XL package, they give you these. This is really handy, just to even grab a hold of when you're lying in bed to pull the door closed in the middle of the night. You've got these kind of cool porthole windows. You have, let's take a quick look at the inside. You've got some really nice shelving up here to store things in. You have a shelf here to put you put your wallet and your phone at night. You can see you also have the outlets. There's one on the other side. You have drink holders, which is, again, handy in the middle of the night. Your fire extinguisher is handy. This hook I put here, put the camper keys, really nice. That is I think this is the heat detector. I think it's Bluetooth over to the heater over there. So we've got the heater there We've got the air conditioner. I used the air conditioner for the first time last time we went camping about 3 weeks ago. It worked great. You turn on this fan here. There's a switch for that fan, and then turn the air conditioner on, and that little baby works really nicely. The heater works really nicely. You don't really, I've been camping in we went down into the 40s, and I didn't turn the heater on, and it got cold inside the camper, but it was still plenty warm underneath the comforter, just one comforter, and I was pretty warm. You have this beautiful kind of wood ceiling with the accent LED lighting, just beautiful. I'll try to give you've got all this cabinet space. You have a television hookup inside here, and that goes to your antenna here, so you could put an external satellite dish or antenna on here so you can have TV. They used to put TVs in these up there, but they decided that people weren't really using the TVs. They were using iPads and things of that nature, so they decided to use the money they spent on TVs and other areas of the camper. But there's still a connection there if you want to add it. The solar power controller is in there as well. You've got your electronic panel with your fuse breakers, easy to get to. You have another, I forgot about that power switch right there. And then, of course, you got all this storage here. All right, pointing out the flaws, the windows are fabulous. They're absolutely fabulous. Let's see if you can see them. I have the screen down on this. This pulls up to have kind of a blackout shade. Let me do that here so you can kind of see. And you've got the blackout shade, right? So you've got screen on top, blackout shade on the bottom. Here's the flaw. This string system is really janky. It's still in good shape because I haven't manhandled it, but your strings that go through these things, my understanding is they can get all fouled up pretty easily if you're not careful, if you manhandle the windows. So always handle the windows from the center. So when I reach in to move these, I'm reaching to the center here. There's a lock that goes between these two, unlock these. So you can have this open, and you need to have that open to access the window locks, but then these things snip together. But you can see if you don't bring them up together, try to do it from one side, you could kind of get that off the track. Anyway, that's if I had to pick out one thing I don't like about this camper, it's just that. Again, not a huge deal. Okay. Yeah, switches for the bug lights. So you got a bug light, I call them bug lights. You have the exterior lights, which is wonderful to have this night light on all night if you want to get up, if you know you're going to be getting up in the middle of the night like I do to use the restroom. This is nice. It's that yellow light that doesn't attract bugs. Wonderful. It works very, very nicely. Okay, let's see what else we can talk about in the interior here. Boy, you get in here and it just is quiet. Very, very quiet. Oh, we've got one's a smoke detector. You've got, on this side, you've got a carbon monoxide detector. All right, let's take a look at the bed. So this was key for me in buying a, number one, to get out of tent camping, because my back just can't take tent camping. After I kind of graduated from, my son got out of Boy Scouts, I was done with tent camping. I wanted something comfortable to sleep in, and this is it. So I've got 3 inches of memory foam. I've got the mattress that came with it. And then I bought this extra system. It is like a box spring, adjustable box spring. It just makes this thing wonderful. I have a bad arthritic hips and shoulder, and so that was very, very nice. Now, I've got all this stuff loaded on here, which makes this storage area kind of hard to get at, but when I open it up, I've got my little wooden legs to prop it open. And so you've got storage underneath the bed, quite a bit of storage underneath the bed. I don't use it because it's kind of hard to get at, but it's there if you need it. All right. I think I've covered just about everything on the camper that I can think of. Hopefully that helps. Let's take just a quick, really the thing is in perfect mint condition, I would call it. Let's kind of go around it so you can see. Again, this is kind of nice. See, it's nice and clean. I have taken this to the car wash, the camper car wash in town here, after every use. It's been just immaculately maintained. This side I'm kind of a little bit hard to see because I'm up against my ladder here. But yeah, everything is shiny and new. Okay, we can kind of see in our little camper here at night. Again, these are kind of nice. You got little lights here. Yeah, I think that's it. Hopefully this will answer most people's questions who have asked me, hey, can you give me a little more information on it? That's it. All right, well, thanks for watching.